A student has died and 3 teenagers have been injured in shooting at a high school in Washington. The shooting occurred at Freeman High School in Rockford, Washington, on Wednesday morning at around 10 a.m. The shooter was taken into custody after being safely neutralized. The 3 injured teenagers were taken to Sacred Heart Medical Center and Children's Hospital where they remain in a stable condition. One will require surgery, but doctors say all 3 are doing well. None of the victims' ages have been released, but the injured youths were described as being in their mid-teens. Scroll down for video as they were evacuated. Terrified students took to Twitter to share frightening pictures of their classmates hiding on the floor. At Freeman Elementary currently. I am a junior, evacuated from the high school. At least 4 shot, one student wrote. Sheriff's deputies went floor to floor, room to room to search the school building to account for all of its students. At around 11:30 a.m., Fire Department Chief Brian Schaefer said there was no longer a threat. There was a call approximately an hour and 25 minutes ago for a shooter in the school. The fire department responded collectively with Sheriff's Office. They organized together as soon as they arrived, and their mission was to go in and locate and neutralize the person who had the weapon and immediately start to care for any victims they found. They did that successfully, he said. Later, he added, 3 children were transported to Sacred Heart Hospital. 1 child is deceased. They remain here. The shooter has been apprehended and taken into custody with law enforcement. One child who was interviewed outside the school after being evacuated claimed he was the shooter was one of his best friends. He said he brought the weapon to school in a duffel bag and that the boy had been watching documentaries about other school shootings before Wednesday's incident. One of my best friends brought a gun in a duffel bag to school, and I guess 3 people were shot and 1 was killed, and we all hid in the corner of our homeroom. We were all crying and texting. We heard the gunshot and heard everyone running and screaming. Other students said the shooter was passing out notes saying he was planning on doing something stupid that could get him killed. He said the alleged gunman sent him photographs of a school shooting documentary he'd been watching recently, but that he never imagined he would ever commit such violence. I was thinking that maybe it wasn't my friend, but then I had an idea it was all the documentaries he's been watching, and thinking he sent me a picture on Snapchat when we were talking and it was a documentary, and I was like, there's no way he could do this. Now I'm thinking he might actually have gone through with it. The 3 children were rushed to the Sacred Heart Medical Center, 16 miles away. One girl who was evacuated from the school said her cousin was among those injured. She got shot in her side and we don't know if it's lodged in her spine or her colon, but we know it's pretty critical, she told KHQ. The hospital has since revealed that all students it is caring for are in a stable condition. We have 3 teenagers with us and they're all doing well. They're stable. 1 will be requiring some surgery this afternoon, but that's it, so we are thrilled to report that, Dr. Michael Moore said. He said the hospital did not know how many students would come through their doors for treatment when they received the first reports of the shooting. They prepared 8 operating rooms, he said, which mostly lay empty. Washington Governor Jay Inslee said the shooting was heartbreaking. All Washingtonians are thinking of the victims and their families. We're grateful for the service of school staff and first responders working to keep our students safe, he said in a tweet. Every other high school in the district was put on lockdown as a precaution shortly after the shooting. They are now safe. Terrified parents flocked to the school immediately after news of the shooting spread. Spokane police immediately closed the highway which approaches the school, forcing some parents to abandon their cars and walk more than a mile to get to their children. Shortly after 12 p.m., 2 hours after the shooting, police began reuniting students with parents who had gathered outside. FBI agents arrived at the high school on Wednesday afternoon,